A Minnesota man died in an avalanche while he was snowmobiling about 19 miles north of West Yellowstone. Gallatin County officials say 40-year-old Waylon Wiedemann of Pine City, Minnesota, was caught in the avalanche late Tuesday on the west side of Sage Peak in the southern Madison Range. The Gallatin National Forest Avalanche Center says Wiedemann triggered the slide and was buried under 3 feet of snow. Fellow riders dug him out in 12 to 15 minutes, but he died at the scene. The mountains around West Yellowstone got 2 to 4 feet of snow late last week. Missoula police made an arrest right outside their headquarters Tuesday evening. According to Missoula police spokesman Travis Welsh, 31-year-old Brittany Masmasic was arrested while on her way to the police station.
Adult female was arrested at City Hall, as a matter of fact, for DUI and criminal child endangerment after she had driven to the police department to speak to an officer about a previously reported incident that she was involved in. She also had in her car some young children, ages 1 and 6, and due to the subsequent investigation, she was also being held for criminal child endangerment.
Criminal child endangerment is a felony. However, the aggravated DUI Mamasic received was just a misdemeanor. Aggravated DUI charges are elevated from a typical DUI, which can result from having higher blood alcohol content, a suspended license, or a prior conviction. Missoula City Fire Department will be conducting emergency ice rescue training on the Clark Fork River today. Captain Dean Johnson said the training is conducted every year as a refresher for firefighters to be prepared in case a person or animal falls through the ice into the river.
We have what's called a cat raft, which is an inflatable dual pontoon type boat, and that's what we use to access patients on the river. That's really good for if there was, say, somebody stranded on the ice. We can use that. We can walk out on the ice. The firefighters can hang on to that for added safety.
Johnson emphasized the importance of keeping pets and animals away from the water in winter.
Missoula Fire Department would like to stress this time of year, especially on the river, especially where you have active water under an ice sheet or ice shelf, just stay off the ice. There's really no reason to be out there, and especially so keep your pets off. And quite often that's what happens is somebody is out there with their dog gets into trouble, then either the pet owner or other bystanders get involved, and now we have a civilian rescue in addition to an animal rescue.
The training will be taking place this morning from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. on the Clark Fork River. 911 has been notified of the training, so calls from passers-by are not necessary. MTN News is reporting that a Deer Lodge man was sentenced to 30 years in prison, the latest of several defendants who were apprehended when authorities arrested 2 men and seized 20 pounds of methamphetamine in a bus nearly a year ago in Mineral County. The case began last January when authorities arrested Hector Ricardo Gonzalez and Christian Jesus Ruiz, who were smuggling the meth in Mineral County, headed for Deer Lodge, where attorneys say it was to be sold. Yesterday, District Court Judge Sam Hatton sentenced 33-year-old Chase Ryan Storley for his role in the conspiracy. Prosecutors say Storley planned to resell the drugs that had been seized in Mineral County. U.S. Attorney Kurt Almay says Storley and his co-defendants were distributing enormous amounts of drugs, enough to supply south-central Montana with nearly 900,000 individual doses of methamphetamine. Montana's minimum wage is higher than any of its neighbors, except for South Dakota. And according to Montana Bureau of Labor and Industry economist Barbara Wagner, it went up again at the start of the new year.
The Montana minimum wage increased up to $8.30 on January 1st of this year. Montana's minimum wage law requires that the minimum wage amount be indexed to inflation. So every year on the 1st of January, we make that increase according to how much inflation has increased over the last year.
Although the minimum wage went up 15 cents, Wagner says very few Montanans will actually see a change in their pay.
We estimate that the number of Montanans who are impacted by the minimum wage increase this year is less than 4,000. Because Montana's labor markets are fairly tight, many workers are already being paid above the state minimum wage.
Wagner says there was only 1 year where inflation did not drive Montana's minimum wage up. That was 2016. Wagner says that even during the height of the last recession, an estimate of less than 10,000 people were getting minimum wage in Montana. Laurel is missing a leader after its mayor-elect skipped out on his swearing-in ceremony. The Billings Gazette reports Mayor-elect Dave Wagner did not show up to the City Council's Tuesday meeting where he was supposed to be sworn into office. He did not return calls seeking comment. After winning the election, Wagner was asked to leave his current position at the city's wastewater treatment plant before taking office. Officials later passed a resolution nominating outgoing Councilman Tom Nelson to be mayor. Wagner didn't give up his city job. City Attorney Sam Painter said the city has not received a job resignation letter from Wagner or any other notice. Nelson will be sworn in at the city council's next meeting. Responding to questions from our KGVO Talkback Show audience regarding the possible use of financial gifts and endowments by the University of Montana to help solve the school's financial situation, senior writer for Foundation, Kate Stober, explained the ways that monies received by the foundation can be utilized.
One of the ways that a donor can support is to give a gift that goes into our endowment. And so the endowment there's the amount that they've donated, that's the principal, and that's invested. And then we spend the annual income, the interest, off of the endowment every year. So some donors will give a gift that is earmarked for something specific, and we have to honor their wishes.
Stober says some donors give what are termed unrestricted gifts.
Some donors will make those kind of unrestricted gifts into our endowment, and so then every year we'll have interest on the endowed gift that we can direct, or the university rather can direct where it needs it to go. That's what we call our Excellence Fund. Is a big area that supports a lot of areas on campus.
Stober said 2017 was the best fundraising year ever for the Foundation, with over $80 million. Montana's Northern Cheyenne tribe has narrowly voted to re-elect the tribal president who was ousted by the tribal council back in October. The Billings Gazette reports preliminary results indicate Jace Kilsback received 541 votes, 2 more than challenger Donna Fisher in Tuesday's special election. The tribal council voted 9-1 to out Kilsback in October, arguing he was neglecting his duties and violating tribal bylaws. Kilsback argued the allegations came from a small group of dissidents and the decision was made without him having a chance to respond. Barring a recount, Kilsback will be inaugurated January 15th. Our Newstalk time, 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Patchy freezing fog with a few flurries. Temperatures will be in the mid-20s by the afternoon. Tonight, isolated snow threat. Overnight lows will hold steady. Will warm into the upper 20s with a chance of a rain-snow mix on Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.